Welcome, sir.
Welcome, welcome,
Department.
welcome, Samadhi, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir. I am Rani here, sir. Dr. Narayan, sir, is the head of the department.
Yeah.
And we have Dr. Jamun, sir. He's the vice chairman of IGS Trivandrum chapter.
Yes, sir. Welcome, Professor Samadhiya.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir.
Okay. So, good afternoon, Professor Narayanan and
welcome, Gandhi, sir. Welcome, Gandhi, sir.
Is also there?
Yes, yeah. Gandhi, sir, joined.
Samadhiya, welcome and congratulations.
Welcome, Dr. Busha teacher, Samadhi, sir, Dr. Gandhi, sir, Jamohan, sir, Dr. Narayan, sir, and all participants, outside participants.
Sir Gandhi, sir, I am Professor Matthew's student, actually PhD student, graduated way back in '99. Professor M.S. Matthews. So you are very familiar to me, sir, because I have been there for 3 to 4 years. I was there in the Building Technology Division, BTCM. I have seen many times.
What's your name?
Dr. Narayanan. Narayanan. Actually, there were 2 Narayanans.
G. Narayanan from Railways.
No. I worked in TKM Engineering College at that time.
Okay.
I came as a QAP scholar.
Okay.
And there is another Narayanan who did masters at the same time. He's now in Arizona State University as professor.
Okay. Now there is third G. Narayanan who was with Railways and who did PhD in our structures.
Yes,
so
yes, sir.
Geotech and structures, both expertise.
Yes,
he
yes,
retired from Railways. So are you still with college or you have...
Yes, yes. No. Actually, I have left TKM Engineering College. Now I am HOD of Civil Engineering Department, Marine Engineering College, where this symposium is being organized.
Okay, good. Thank you.
So, how are you, sir?
Fine. So, we will not be able to meet you during the IGC 2020, but all the best.
But
and I'm sure that you can do wonderful things.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, right now you are in Surat or in Madras?
Yes. And now I'm in Surat. I have retired from IIT Madras. And my tenure here is till October 2020. I'm sorry, 21. October 21.
Okay, sir. Okay.
How is situation in Roorkee? Are there many cases or safe?
No, there are not many cases. COVID positive, maybe 3-4. But since some of us are moving out for some work to several places, so most of them are quarantined.
Okay.
And PhD students are also coming back to campus. It's already about 10 months since they are out. So their work is also suffering. The institute has allowed to come back to campus. There are few cases amongst them also.
Okay.
But otherwise,
welcome, Dr. Unnikrishnan. Dr. Unnikrishnan, welcome.
Good afternoon, Gupta ji.
Yeah, how are you? Good evening.
Fine,
How are
thank
you?
Namaskar, sir.
It is practically 1
Sir.
year since we last met.
Mm.
Yeah. Because this year been COVID and no movements. So we are all in the virtual mode. And the Samadhya will also take charge as a president on a virtual mode only.
No, I hope now that vaccine has reached by February, March, it may be all right.
Yeah, we are hoping for that. And you know what? I think out of all of us, I should get the earlier chance to get vaccinated because of the age factor.
Yes, sir.
So I'll try to smuggle some 2-3 extra vaccine.
Sir,
for
we
my
hope
dear,
for the best for you.
So nice of you. Thank you,
Thank
AP.
you, sir.
Now, I mean, at our age group, you know, we can only survive with the wishes of all our friends.
Yes, sir.
But luckily, so far, me and my family, we are all COVID free. So that's by grace of God. But our Delhi Noida border is in bad shape. In the last few days, because of the farmers, I
Right.
don't know. So that's another excuse for me not to go to office. Yeah.
Sir, till yesterday it was open, sir.
Is it?
Yeah,
I was
DND was
seeing the
open
news,
till
don't think so.
yesterday. Even today also DND is open.
DND is open. Okay.
Yeah.
And APC, what about Meerut Delhi?
It's open, sir. No,
Yeah, I'm told on NH24 there is a blockage.
At 24 they have blockage and they have given the advisory that you can take the alternate route like Simapuri or DND. Those are the routes.
Oh.
But by today evening they are closing that some gates also. There also.
There also, yeah. So because of COVID, I was not
more
going
serious.
to office, working from home, and now for the additional this farmers agitation, so I'm totally at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another protection against COVID, sir.
Yeah, it is good. What can I do when all my children and the family member, they say, no, you work from home only, don't go to office. Okay.
You
It's a
should obey
painful
your
exercise.
family members.
Yeah, no, it is a painful exercise for me to sit at home for this last 8.5 months.
Yeah.
Because even in high temperature, I have never left the office. I have always gone to the office or for the work. So, well, it is something new to learn. I think I should not take more time now. It is Asa Gandhi's presentation. Yes, eagerly waiting for it. Right. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. Can we move on to the program?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Sorry of just intruding over here.
No, sir. It's a pleasure that all of us joined. So we'll move on to the program.
All goodness lie in the soil. Today, the 5th of December, is accounted to be World Soil Day, which is to celebrate the importance of soil as a critical component of the natural system and as a vital contributor to human well-being. So, on this auspicious occasion of World Soil Day, my warm greetings to the galaxy of intellects, honorable guests, dignitaries, faculty members, and students to this magnificently glorious day. I feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to all present here for the most awaited annual TSR Commemorative Lecture 2020 and the Valedictory ceremony. This lecture is dedicated in memory of noted geotechnical expert Dr. T.S. Ramanath Iyer. He started his career as a demonstrator and rose to the position of professor in civil engineering in 1965. He took his MTech in soil mechanics from University of Madras and PhD from IIT Roorkee. He was a postdoctoral fellow at the prestigious Norwegian Geotechnical Institute in the year 1971-72, the first Indian to be received the honor and the first Asian to be the chairman of Civil Engineering Department at Zambia University in the period 1977-79. He was also the founder head of the Department of Civil Engineering, Government College of Engineering, Thrissur, later the principal of GEC Thrissur and College of Engineering, Trivandrum, and retired as the Director of Technical Education, Kerala, during the period 1986-87. When offered the position of Emeritus Professor, the UGC offered him a choice amongst IISc, IIT Bombay, IIT Madras, first ever person to be provided with a varied choice, and Professor Iyer chose IIT Madras. He was the Honorary Director of CERCON, Institution of Engineers, Kerala, and also the consultant to various organizations on soil mechanics problems. He later returned to Kerala and served as an emeritus professor at CET. His research contributions to understanding the physico-chemical behavior of Kuttanad clay is unparalleled. IGS Thiruvananthapuram chapter has been organizing the TSR Memorial Lecture in his fond memory, and this year the lecture is being delivered by Dr. SR Gandhi, Director of SVNIT Surat and former Professor IIT Madras, and the session will be chaired by Professor N.K. Samadhya, Professor IIT Roorkee and President-elect of Indian Geotechnical Society, and is organized through an online platform considering the constraints of COVID-19 by the IGS student chapter of Marine Engineering College. So without further ado, to welcome our distinguished guests of the day, let me cordially invite Dr. Narayan S., Head of the Department Civil Engineering, Marine Engineering College.
Good afternoon, everybody. Never have I been more happy to deliver the welcome speech for the TSR lecture and valedictory function of the symposium on highway infrastructure and TSR, because the symposium was well conducted and received appreciation from the expert speakers as well as the participants from all over India and abroad. To go on to my duty of welcoming, first and foremost, I extend a hearty welcome to the speaker of the day, Professor S.R. Gandhi, former professor of IIT Madras. Sir, I did my PhD under Professor M.S. Matthews in 1994-98 period and know you from those days. Welcome, sir. It is my pleasure to welcome Professor N.K. Samadhya, IIT Roorkee and IGS President-elect. My duty to welcome the management of the institute who has provided great support for organizing the symposium. Reverend Father Wilfred, Manager, Director Professor Tommy, Director Professor A. Sampson, Principal Professor Ruby Abraham, and Bursar Father Sudesh. It's also my pleasure to welcome Dr. Unnikrishnan, Vice Chairman, IGS Trivandrum Chapter. I also welcome the Executive Committee members and Professor Rani and Professor Kannan, the mentors who made all this possible. I also welcome Professor I. Bushra, Dr. Bushra, from TKM College of Engineering, who is also a participant in this. Let me also welcome all the participants, professors from Marine Engineering College, colleges all over India, industry participants and students. I also remember on this occasion, the close interaction I had with late Professor Ramnath Iyer. Even visited his house and witnessed the Kullu arrangements during the festival season. He always had advice for students for research. I also welcome and thank all the speakers, chairs, and co-chairmen and coordinators of the program who made this a big success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The TSR lecture will commence shortly. Before that, let me brief in some general instructions for the participants. All participants are requested to mute their microphones and switch off your cameras during the session. All your doubts and queries shall be cleared at the end of the session. Please feel free to ask either through your chat box or by just unmuting yourself. At the end of the session, a feedback form shall be circulated through the WhatsApp groups as well as the chat box. Please do fill in without fail, as certificates will be issued based on this. So today's session is on the topic Underground Excavation and Anchoring, handled by Dr. S.R. Gandhi, Director of SVNIT Surat and former Professor of IIT Madras. And the session will be chaired by Professor N.K. Samadhya, who's a professor from IIT Roorkee. Professor Samadhya joined IIT Roorkee as a lecturer in 1990 and became the professor of Civil Engineering Department in 2007. He obtained his Bachelor's of Civil Engineering from GCET, which is now known as NIT Raipur, and Master's in Geotechnical Engineering from GEC Jabalpur in 1987 and PhD from University of Roorkee in 1999. He is a recipient of IGS Professor Leonard Biennial Prize in the year 1999-2000 for the Best PhD Thesis in Geotechnical Engineering and several IGS Best Paper Awards and ISR MTT Best Research Award. He served as the Secretary of Indian Geotechnical Society's Roorkee Local Chapter in the year 2001-4 and is presently the Chairman of the Roorkee Chapter. He is a fellow member of several national and international professional societies including ISS MGE, ISRM, ISRM MTT, ISCSMS, IST and ISET. Presently, he is the chairman of BISCED 48, which deals with the Rock Mechanics Committee, and the chairman of Indian Society for Construction Materials and Structures in the year 2017-2020, and an active member of TC207 Task Force of ISS MGE. And in the recently concluded elections, he has been elected as the president of Indian Geotechnical Society for the term 2021-22. And the session will be co-chaired by Gopika Gopan, who is the executive committee member of IGS Student Chapter, Marine Engineering College. So we are extremely honored to have Professor N.K. Samadhya sir with us today. On behalf of the entire IGS Student Chapter, with great honor, I welcome you, sir, to do the honors. Sir, please.
At the outset, I would like to thank the organizers, especially Professor Narayanan, Professor Rani, for giving me this opportunity to chair this particular session of the lecture in the memory of Professor T.S. Ramnath Iyer. Actually, Professor Ramnath Iyer was the first PhD from University of Roorkee in geotechnical engineering in 1966. And we also wanted to invite him during IGC 2013. But when we contacted, so it was known that he was not keeping his good health. But the opportunity today has been given at least to chair the session in his honor. And I'm told that this IGS student chapter of Marine Engineering College is doing good work, and it has got the maximum strength. And I am also attending this seminar, a symposium on highway infrastructure and TSR lecture. I have attended 2-3 lectures, and it was really excellent. So I would like to congratulate the entire team for this particular symposium. So today's lecture, as announced, is by Professor S.R. Gandhi. That is on the topic underground excavations and anchoring. So before we start, although Professor Gandhi doesn't need any introduction, but for the benefit of those who does not know about him, I will briefly introduce him. Professor Gandhi, he obtained his BTech from Saurashtra University in 1977, MTech in soil mechanics from IIT Madras in 1979, and PhD on pile socketed in weak rock from IIT Madras in 1985. So he worked as a faculty member in Ocean Engineering Center at IIT Madras from 1982, and since 1990 he was a faculty division in Department of Civil Engineering at IIT Madras. And in 24th October 2016, he moved to SVNIT Surat, and he is at present the director of SVNIT Surat. Everybody knows that he is an excellent academician, teacher, researcher who has guided several PhDs, MTech dissertations, and published many papers, more than or very close to 200 in international journals, national journals, and conferences. His research area includes design of pile foundation, ground improvement technique, especially the stone columns, and his paper, along with, I think, Malar Vizi, if I am pronouncing his right name, it's a very popular paper, especially those who are working in the area of ground improvement, granular piles. Other areas are field instrumentation and monitoring and design of ash pond. He has major sponsored research projects funded by Department of Science and Technology on densification on fly ash and reinforced earth embankment. He is an active foundation consultant to various government organizations and private industries for design and construction of foundation. And he was also National Executive Committee member of Indian Geotechnical Society for 2 terms. And he has organized many conferences and seminars when he was at IIT Madras, and also recently concluded the IGC 2019 at Surat. He was there as the patron of that particular conference. And he has also organized the Indian Geotechnical Conference 2006 at IIT Madras. And he is involved with the Deep Foundation Institute India chapter also. And he has conducted several conferences, including conferences held at 2012 at IIT Madras. He was the chief editor of Indian Geotechnical Journal also during 2005 to 2010, and also served as associate editor of Sadhana Journal. Since 1st June 2017, he is the institute chair professor of IIT Madras for a 5-year term, but recently, just now, he has said that he is now retired from IIT Madras. So with this brief biodata, I would now request Professor SR Gandhi to deliver his lecture on underground excavations and anchoring. Thank you so much.
Namaskar. Thank you, Professor Samadhya, for the kind words of introduction. It's always a pleasure to be with the IGS members, wherever it is. And I'm happy that IGS Trivandrum chapter has organized this nice event, a week long. And I'm particularly happy that I have been requested to participate in this particular session, which is a TSR Memorial Lecture. Would like to share some of my slide. Can somebody help me how to do that? Where is in Microsoft?
Sir, actually, we are made a presenter, so you can share it from there, sir.
So how do I share my slide? It is.
Sir, on the top we have that video, audio, and next to that it's the share button.
Right.
On the top.
Yeah, I got
there.
It.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So share the full.
And,
after that.
After that, there is a window which comes out that shows that screen, a share option in which you have to put that computer sound on. Desktop, from the desktop.
Yeah. It says your entire screen, shall I click?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you seeing any screen from me?
Yes, sir. It's coming up. It's coming up, sir.
But I don't see that. Are you able to see?
Sir, yes, we are able to see that. Only the slideshow is not worked. We are seeing it in that. Now it's perfect, sir. Now it's perfect.
Okay.
Then,
So, yeah.
So there is a button which is showing in the bottom that you have to press the hide. Button. Hide.
Okay. So, are you able to see the slides?
Yes, sir. Now we have to
Maximize.
Maximize it. We have to put in the slideshow.
Okay. Now it's okay?
Yeah. It's perfect, sir.
Okay. So as I was mentioning, it is always pleasure to be part of IGS, and I am particularly happy that I have been honored to give this Professor TSR Lecture Memorial Lecture today. Professor N.K. Samadia, Chairman of this session and President-elect of IGS Delhi, Dr. S. Narayanan, Head of the Department of Civil Engineering, Dr. N. Unikrishnan, Dr. V. Rani, other invited speakers for this one-week program, participants to the program, students and other invitees, a very good evening. First, I would like to say a few words about my association with Professor T.S. Ramnath here. When I joined Civil Engineering Department from Ocean Engineering Department, this was the year 1990, and that time Professor Ramnath Iyer retired from the Government Engineering College Trivandrum, and he was our board member for quite some time. And then he joined Civil Engineering Department as a visiting faculty. During this period, I was new to the BTech teaching, and he has guided me on a number of occasions how to deal with the BTech students, what are the important things that we should, the students like, and his tips were always useful in my teaching. Apart from the tips in teaching, he has already taught many things related to the rainforest earth, which he was his favorite subject, and many practical problems where we were associated in geotechnical division. He used to help to all research scholars and in all other faculty. We never felt any generation gap difference, though he is always a fatherly figure, but he was always treating all the colleagues nicely and advising them and giving all the required help. I am very happy that today I am able to give this talk as his memorial lecture. Moving further to the subject, I have been asked to talk about case studies on underground excavations and anchoring. I will not be discussing too much about the theory for retaining walls and analysis of retaining wall. I am just highlighting various case studies where the deep excavations, what are the challenges and how it has been executed at different places. There may be some mismatch in the slides, but please bear with me if it is so. The deep excavations have a lot of difficulties, particularly when it is in an urban area. Till I joined my MTech at IIT Madras, and there were very few buildings which had a basement. For various reasons, that there was not so much of space constraint for parking. If you look at IIT Madras and Civil Engineering Department, we had only 2 or 3 cars coming to the department, and you can count the number of cars in campus on fingertip. But now the scenario is different, and now if you visit Civil Engineering Department, you have to look for a space for parking the car. And institute was seriously considering to build a parking lot in the academic area to solve this problem. Nevertheless, so in what I wanted to say is in metropolitan, in all metro cities, one is the parking problem, other is the metro construction where you have no other space than taking it underground. So you have huge underground stations requiring these deep excavations. Then you have various difficulty related to groundwater. In most of the coastal area, the water table is high and the excavation is fairly deep, 15 to 20 meters. And it's a challenge to do the dewatering. You have soil boiling or piping at the bottom, particularly when the soil is of poor condition, loose sand or loose silty sand, you have a lot of piping problem. The struts, if provided, creates a lot of construction challenges because of the obstruction, and people prefer the strut-free excavation, and that is where we need either an anchor or other devices. Now, this particular basement excavation, which is right behind IIT Madras campus, this was the first major research park which came up in Chennai city. This is a tidal park on the old Mahabalipuram road, where there was a film city earlier. It is little ahead of that. As you see, it's an open excavation with the side slopes. You are very lucky if you have a space around to keep an open slope. As you see from the picture, the strata leaving the top 5-6 meters, it was very soft clay, and then the foundation is resting on weathered rock at about 10 meters or so. Now, if we had gone for a diaphragm wall, then the time and the cost would have been factored. Where you have a space available, the open excavation is the best solution, provided you can manage with the disposal of the excavated soil, more quantity of disposal of excavated soil. As you see in this picture, a series of trucks moving on the top. Each truck carries only about 10 to 12 tons of soil, and you need so much of volume. So there are line of trucks continuously operating. You also have a restriction in number of restriction on hours during which the trucks can move out of the campus. So with all this limitation, you try to reduce the quantity of excavation. It will also give you more space for stacking of construction material if you go for a retaining wall, either diaphragm wall or a seat pipe. Such excavation is to be maintained. There are 3 basements and a large size building. You may need at least 12 to 18 months to come out of the basements. And obviously it may pass through 1 or 2 monsoons. And unless the slopes are protected, it will have a lot of erosion or slides during the monsoon. And here you see that entire perimeter was protected by sand-filled bags. The crowd you see is the BTech students of IIT Madras who came to see the excavation. There is similar excavation. This is in Bangalore, and as you see, it is Swastik metro station, which is just adjacent to a mall. It is a Mantri Mall in Bangalore, and this 3 basement deep excavation for the metro station. Now, this station has 3 basement and about 12-floor commercial building on the top of it. The excavation is required, which is hardly few meters, as you see from the face of this Mantri Mall. There's only one car drive distance left, and there's a compound wall of the mall. So fortunately, the strata is almost a weathered rock, right, as you see in the picture. And the excavation could be made near vertical, about 85 degrees, with just protection of the surface with granite. Another view of it, more dangerous, is the opposite side of this, where there is a railway line passing through it. So the opposite face of this, there's an existing railway line, and metro will come parallel to it in this basement. Okay. Another typical example of deep excavation carried out for seawater intake for the North Chennai thermal power plant. This was executed during almost 85, 86. And what you see in the background is the new Ennore port, where there is a coal berth, and the coal is conveyed to the power plant through this conveyor. And intake channel, which brings the seawater from the port, is passing under this conveyor, and it is totally 3 kilometers long. Now, this 20-meter deep excavation is hardly 500 meters away from the sea on the right side. And the strata, as you see here, is all beach sand with a fairly good permeability. And dewatering is carried out with a staged dewatering system, as you see here. Now, the construction process starts from one end. You go to the maximum depth, leaving a slope for movement of the vehicle, the machinery and the material. And precast wall elements are lowered to construct the channel. So the system worked well for almost about 2 kilometers. But the last stretch, when it was about to go near to the cooling water sump, there was a change in strata suddenly, as you see here. Instead of sand, it was a clay strata, marine clay. And then the dewatering, which worked well there, did not work, though it is provided. As you can see, the header pipe and well points were provided. But because of very low permeability and highly plastic nature of the clay, it was not successful. So as a result, you find there is always oozing of water at the bottom and softening of the ground under the seepage of water. Now this created two problems. The precast wall panel, which is brought cast on the surface, and are you able to see my cursor? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So the precast element which you see on the ground is lowered by a crane onto the excavation. And then after lowering two side units, there's a steel projecting in both here, which is filled with an in situ concrete. So the three side becomes monolith. So each unit was weighing 8 to 10 tons. And when the ground is soft, you find that the wall unit doesn't remain stable. Either it is tilting inward, outward, or along the length, and then the joint opens up. So this difficulty was faced because dewatering was not good or could not be achieved as required. So to solve this problem, what was done is seat piles were driven here and sand was dumped here, so that crane which is required to lower these units is brought on this 2 or 3 meter thick sand deposited. And after lowering the panels, the required concreting is done at the base. And then you remove the seat pile and move it ahead for another 2-3 meters so that the work can progress in this direction. So it solved the problem, but it created a lot of additional work of driving seat pile, filling sand, and delaying the work. Many times we designed the underground for underground utility, the wall with a certain assumption of the backfill. And the normal specification given is that soil is compacted at 95% factor density in layers not exceeding 30 centimeter at OMC and rolled number of passes. But in practice, because the excavation do not have the required space at the bottom to take a roller, what is done normally is the soil is brought, dumped, and then it is pushed by a dozer. It will roll down to a height of 8, 9, 10 meters. And obviously, the compaction takes place only at the surface due to the movement of the vehicle, movement of the dozer and the roller. But deeper level, the compaction is not there, which might result in higher earth pressure on the wall. And if it is not designed, then it can have a problem. I'm just showing the excavations. This is a Bombay domestic terminal. One side we had Air India terminal, other side it was other private airline terminal earlier. And the gap in between is now filled up with the hotel and other underground facilities. So this is that portion where the work is extended and the excavation was very close to the heavily loaded column of the existing terminal. Fortunately, the strata here is quite good. As you see here, it's weathered rock beyond 2 to 3 meters. So there was no stability problem. So again, similar excavation for the new terminal at Chennai airport, where nearly vertical cut could be made for the new terminal building on either side of the old terminal building. This only the rainwater, nothing to do with the groundwater. And except one side of the building, one side of the excavation, where we had the chilling plant of the old terminal. It was very close to the line of excavation. The raft of the new building was required up to this phase. And going deeper, it was there was a fear that the chilling plant may lose stability because foundation of this is very close to the edge of this excavation. So this area was protected by nailing. So what you see is the chilling plant. The barricade is provided here. These are some of the foundation of the chilling plant column. And soil nailing is carried out. As you see here, about 2 meter deep nails are driven from the surface, vertical cut surface. And then graniting is carried out with a chicken mesh on this. And that helped to hold it for almost 1.5 years till the basement was backfilled. So this is another excavation close to the beach at MRC Nagar in Chennai. This is just behind the, this is the Sun TV channel's office in MRC Nagar. And there are 2 basements, all beach sand, hardly 100 meters away from the beach. Behind this tower, there's a sea coast and water table is very high. So dewatering is carried out by well point dewatering system. You can see all over here. And then the surface is protected with soil nailing and graniting. You will see closer view in the next. So you can see nails driven at almost 1.5 to 2 meters center to center. And the surface is protected against erosion by graniting it with a chicken mesh. And then the foundation work is carried out. Still more, one more basement excavation for ITC Hotel on Mount Road, at Gandhi. What is the name? I forgot. ITC, the new hotel which has come on Can somebody tell me the name? ITC Chola or something like that, which is a huge palatial hotel.
ITC Grand Chola?
Yes, ITC Grand Chola, correct. So it has 3 basements and no retaining structure provided. It's all nearly vertical cut on weathered strata here. And from the boundary line, the distance is hardly 3 to 4 meters. And you find a series of this coconut plant here. It was not like this. The plants were throughout this area, but they have been transplanted along the boundary so that it is not cut and it's not removed. And then this excavation was carried out. So most of this length was without any protection, but at some location where there was a doubt, in fact, part of this area has very hard rock where wire cutting was carried out. But other place, you can see here, the soil nailing is done with a graniting because there is an office building here very close to it, which will be demolished subsequently. But during construction, for stability or safety of this grouting was, nailing and the grouting was carried out. Another feature I want to show, this a permanent basement wall of the hotel basement at ITC Chola. And normally we do backfilling with soil. But here, in order not to take any chance due to settlement of this backfill material, this low strength, controlled low strength concrete is provided here, fly ash and cement, so that it doesn't settle further. Ideally, backfilling can also be done with a cohesionless material, either if quarry dust or fly ash, whichever is available in the area, to avoid that low strength concrete, which will be expensive. Here you have a Raheja's IT tower in Hyderabad, where strata is rocky and excavation is carried out almost vertical. No water table, so no dewatering, no retaining wall. And after excavation and construction of the basement wall, the backfilling is done with a fly ash here. I'll skip this. Now, we have seen so far the excavation where either soil nailing is done and grouting is done, but no anchor or strut. So now I'm showing you the excavation done with some lateral support. And this particular facility is a wagon tippler at Paradip Port in Orissa. This is in the port area, very close from the sea, from the berthing structure. And strata is sandy. And there are 2 walls in this. The diaphragm wall, RCC diaphragm wall, is a sacrificial wall which will be left out in the ground after permanent walls are constructed within the diaphragm wall excavated area. Now, this concept of doing the double wall is to ensure that the permanent wall is provided with a waterproofing on the outer surface of the permanent wall. This is during the, I think, 80s, when there was not so much confidence in the joint between the diaphragm wall, whether it will remain watertight. And this will be handling bulk cargo, and railway line will come over it. It will invert the wagon for material to fall in this, which goes to 12-15 meter deep. And then there is another conveyor in the perpendicular direction with a slope, which will take it to the surface, either to stacking yard or directly into the ship. So this, you can see the volume of strut required, the spacing, and the number of strut vertically. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 levels of strut. And any construction of base casting, reinforcement, concreting, if you have to do under this, there is so much inconvenience. in working with so many struts. So that is why in modern basements, people prefer a strut-free excavation. Another view of the same wagon tippler, the permanent wall, which is made with formwork, and there are buttresses here, so that waterproofing treatment is provided, and then the gap is backfilled. This is temporary diaphragm wall, which is left out in the ground. I'll skip this. There are some damages which happened in the building because of the piping while dewatering this excavation, which made this surrounding ground to settle and creating cracks in the building. So this again a hotel basement at MRC, very close to the earlier excavation I have shown. And this is with the diaphragm wall. You can see the wall panel and the joint between the panels here. There is no strut here because there is a one row of anchor at the top going outside on 45-degree inclination. So this type of excavation is preferred, so you don't have a hindrance in the construction inside. But then you have to deal with the anchors. So the joint between diaphragm wall panel is important, and where it is not proper, you can have seepage of water, and if the gap is more, you may even have some soil coming along with the water. You can see so much soil has come out, which made this temporary shade to settle down and get damaged. We can also use a T-shaped diaphragm wall, which has been used successfully in many applications because of the higher moment of resistance of this T section. You may not need any strut or anchor up to some more height. Normally, a flat section can withstand as a cantilever 4 to 6 meter height. If you are having T-shaped, you may be able to go still deeper, maybe 10 to 12, 15 meters, depending on the section you design. So this is a cooling water sump at Krishna Barrage, which brings water from Krishna River is taken into this. And from here, it is pumped to the Ibrahimpatnam thermal power station by pumping from this pump room above. And these are all the T-shaped diaphragm wall. What you see is the flange of the T, and the web is on the landside behind. The problems associated with diaphragm wall, one is the joint, which I mentioned, with water tightness at the joint. And another is about cover and the damage to the steel if the cover is not proper. This problem is seen in many diaphragm wall that though you have provided 75 mm cover block, you find that cover block penetrates into the soil because of the large weight of the steel reinforcement. And then the cover gets reduced. You have the bars exposed many times. This will need a treatment, otherwise the corrosion can be very fast. To make the joint watertight, normally a rubber stopper, as you see here, is provided in the end stopper on either side of the panel. These are same PVC rubber stopper, which is used in any construction joint in RCC construction. All metro station diaphragm wall is provided with a rubber stopper like this in the diaphragm wall. I'm showing you one more excavation, which is in Taramani behind IIT Madras campus again for the biotech park. And this also 3-basement excavation. We have an RCC diaphragm wall here. And after the diaphragm wall is made, excavation is made to the first stage. Anchors are installed at 45-degree line, as you see here. And this drilling machine which drills at 45-degree inclination through the diaphragm wall, and then you have a steel beam which will transfer the anchor force to the diaphragm wall. Now, the time required for inserting the anchors was slow compared to the progress required for excavating and constructing the basement. So certain stretch where the anchoring was not completed and excavation has gone deeper, there you find that there are a lot of surface movement. So there is a small diesel generator here kept for construction, and there's a small DG room here, and this particular partition wall got severely damaged due to settlement and outward movement during this excavation. You will see closer view of that. You can see this has almost opened up by 50 to 75 millimeter. This wall, it was on some shallow foundation. Because the ground has settled and moved towards the excavation, this has opened up. These are the anchors inserted and to be pre-stressed, and head is not yet provided. It's a PVC pipe through which the pre-stressed tendons are lowered and routed, and the further process is to be carried out. A typical drilling machine, you have different light drilling machine which can be taken to certain height also if required through a staging. Apart from use of anchor for diaphragm wall and retaining walls, seat pile walls, it's also used vertically for stability of the building which are subjected to uplift load. So what you see here is a lighthouse tower. We have recently constructed about 13 new lighthouse towers in the coast of Gujarat, particularly on the coast of Gulf of Khambat. Right from Pakistan border up to Dwarka, there are 13 towers of 60-meter height, and few places where the strata was very good. So you don't need very large size of the raft. But because the tower is 60-meter height and to take care of the moment during earthquake or wind force, the foundation is anchored with number of anchors holding the foundation down with a vertical pre-stress force. So the view of the pre-stressing wire coming out from each of the anchor hole. After grouting, it is pre-stressed with a hydraulic jack and locked at the top. So this is hydraulic jack, two-way acting hydraulic jack, which stresses the steel, and after it is stressed to the required extent, the wedge gets locked here, and then this is covered with concrete so it doesn't get corroded, and then backfilling is carried out. So this is completed unit after the head of the anchor is concealed with a concrete all around. Okay. So I think this was from the excavation of that biotech park where I showed you the anchors completed. This shows the veiling beam and connection of the anchor point with the veiling beam, so that force of anchor is transmitted to the wall. Okay, this is again a deep excavation for the basement of PVR Mall in Cochin City. I forgot the name of this hotel, just adjacent building, where a diaphragm wall is to be constructed and a deep excavation is to be made very close to this property and other property along the perimeter of the mall. Unfortunately, the ground is so soft here, as seen in some of the trial pits. It was soft clay. And it was a challenge to make this deep excavation. So open excavation was ruled out, and then a retaining structure had to be placed. Skip this. Okay. I would like to finally discuss one typical basement constructed in Chennai city. This is for a building which is next to the Apollo Hospital in Mount Road at Tenampet. This is Prestige Tower, which is, I think, an IT park now. It has 3 basements. One side is Mount Road, another side is a street opposite to that Apollo Hospital. Between Apollo Hospital and this building, there's a street inside, and other 2 sides there are private properties, as you see in the houses. The building is covering almost the entire area, leaving only 5 to 6 meter space from the boundary. So diaphragm wall is constructed along this. Now you normally hear 2 methods for deep basement construction. Either it is bottom-up method or top-down method. Now in this particular basement, a unique concept has been tried and it works successfully. Here the perimeter area, as you see in this picture, the perimeter basement slabs are cast with a temporary steel pipe driven into the ground. So that portion is the top-down method, where you excavate a certain meter from the ground and then carry out the basement, which is supported on these temporary piles. Leave the steel for permanent columns, both above and below the slab, and then go below and start excavating to the next level to cast the next floor. Whereas the middle portion is built by bottom-up method. Once the excavation has reached the final level, a ramp is made in this so that vehicle can go down, all excavator, and then this could be excavated very fast with the bottom-up method. Had it been top-down method throughout, the progress would have been very slow. I want to show you the challenges in this type of construction. The ground is so soft, and while excavating, you can wonder how the crane operator could reach the crane and how he feels safety in working in this condition. The entire crawler of the crane has already sunk into the soft clay. And this particular excavator was selected so that it can go between the floor height and excavate up to diaphragm wall by going under the roof. So the concept is that when you are doing diaphragm wall, you drive the steel pipe which goes much beyond the foundation level, and this is only a temporary support pipe which has no permanent role in the structure. It is only supporting the slab. And after the excavation is made, the diaphragm wall is supported by 2 rows of these pipes and the slab at different levels. And when you go deeper to the final level, this, as you saw, it is now the second basement level. And finally, when you go to the third basement level, you find that board cast in situ pile which are completed in this area gets exposed to cast various pile caps and then raise the permanent column in the central area. In the portion which is completed with the roof slab, the steel is left out so that remaining slab can be cast after these columns comes up from these piles already provided. The diaphragm wall was monitored with inclinometer tube, and to check that diaphragm wall which is supported by these two basement over a limited width and two steel pipe, is not having any excessive deflection. This monitoring was done with my PhD student, Dr. Sivapriya, who is standing here. Now she is working with SSN College in Chennai. And we found that the deflections were small. We also did finite element analysis with the known property of the soil, and we found a very matching result. So in the temporarily supported steel pile area, there also the RCC piles are constructed before starting the excavation. So pile cap is cast over it and the steel is taken up. While casting this roof, the steel was left out, which is spliced with this, and then a permanent RCC column is cast. So when series of permanent columns are completed in this area, this steel pipe support is removed and retrieved. So I think this was a unique construction where you have combined the top-down method in the peripheral area and bottom-up method in the central area. I will skip some of the other. I think I may not have much time. I'm just showing you that pile wall has been used successfully to deep excavation. This is from catalog of the one of the pile manufacturing piling equipment manufacturer Bauer. And you can see that even in pile you can have an anchor passing through the pile to support if the height required is more. So you have strut-free excavations. There can be some failure also if it is not designed properly. I will skip this because of lack of time. These are cooling water sump for a power plant in Tamil Nadu, Pillai Perunallur. So I think I have not given you time for any questions. If you have any question, I would be happy to clarify.
Thank you so much, sir, for this enlightening session. So now the platform is open for doubts, queries, and your feedbacks. So please do it by unmuting yourself or by just typing in the chat box. Are there any doubts or queries?
Or the participants are too tired after 1 week of hectic program?
No, sir. No, never. Sir, in fact, I have a small question. Sir, I think throughout the presentation, I think in one slide or so, I saw that due to the dewatering of the site, the adjacent site, it had to experience some sort of settlement. So, so how can we actually avoid any sort of failure in the surrounding structures while doing deep excavations?
You have more problem where the adjacent structure is very close to the boundary and it is not on deep foundation, it is on shallow foundation.
Okay, sir.
Even if it is on deep foundation, you have to check whether those piles will be safe after you excavate, because it may lose passive resistance when you make a cut very close to the pile. So this needs to be checked, and if it is so, then you need to take some precautionary measure of providing a retaining structure, anchors or whatever support is required.
Sir, I have a question. I have in fact written down few questions.
Please.
The first one is in the North Chennai power plant,
Yes.
you said because of the clay soil, dewatering was difficult.
Right.
How did driving of the sheet pile and dumping sand help this situation? Maybe a bit of theory you can explain so that it is very clear.
Yeah, there were by dumping the sand for 2 to 3 meter height, it gave a cushion over the soft clay, so that when a crane moves or marches over it, the pressure which comes from the crane track, which is about a meter wide, the influence of that is within the sand layer only, and it really doesn't reach the soft clay, which is 3 meters below. So it was stable and it could lift the wall panel of about 10 tons from the surface, and it could be lowered.
Okay, sir. So one more question. In the subsequent, one or two slides coming in the later part, you had the slab with temporary piles, slab support on temporary piles.
Right.
See, in that situation, the pattern of reinforcement in the slab is of a particular nature. So when the permanent columns come, it would require a different sort of bar bending and things like that. The tension zones coming differently. How was that managed actually?
Yeah, actually, the collar has a capstan which is designed to take the shear when the slab's weight is coming over it. And after the columns are removed by cutting the steel pipe, the portion left out by the steel pipe is filled with the RCC slab by providing dowel along the perimeter and additional steel there. So it becomes a monolith slab. The steel was cut in that circular portion. There was no steel. And by inserting dowels, the steel was provided, and then the slab was cast in that circular hole, which was about 1 meter diameter.
Mm-hmm. Quite large diameter.
Yes.
So one more thing, the soil nailing, I know maybe it's an elementary question. What type of soil is it suitable for? Soil nailing.
If it is weathered rock, then you may not be able to drive the nail. Then what you should do is you drill a hole, insert the nail and grout it. But if it is not weathered rock, free from any stones or boulders, you should be able to drive the nail with a sliding hammer, which is up to 2-3 meters. Whatever site I have shown, it has gone to 2 to 3 meters from the surface.
So one thing which in this situation, when you drive the soil nail in, does it have a sheath so that you can grout the surrounding portion of the nail? Otherwise, corrosion would take place.
No, in soil nail there is no grout. Like a driven pipe, the reinforcement when it is driven, it displaces the soil around, and then it gives friction only along the perimeter of the reinforcement. No grouting required along the surface of the nail. You do grouting only on the surface so that surface erosion does not take place.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome.
Okay, so are there any other doubts or queries or feedbacks regarding the session? Are there any other doubts or queries or feedbacks regarding the session?
I will add one more question, sir. In metropolitan and even other areas itself, you find that excavation in adjacent property very close to the existing boundary or structure. Are there any guidelines which will restrict such deep excavations so that the adjacent properties are protected?
I think as per the CREDI rules, what they say is that when you are doing diaphragm wall, you should not go right up to your boundary. They are insisting that you leave 2 or 3 meter distance from your boundary when you make any excavation, so that the chances of damage to the neighboring property is less. Whereas the builder would like to go up to their property line so that the parking area available is more or utility available is more. The argument is that if you provide diaphragm wall up to your boundary level, and if the neighboring buildings also do that, then where is the place for the rainwater to percolate into the ground? Everything will go in the surface flow only. Right?
Yes,
So,
yes.
this argument between the CREDI and the authority that why we should leave 3 meter space from the boundary.
Yeah, but often it happens that the building has to follow building regulations regarding the edge distance and all those things. But they excavate right up to the boundary so that the vehicles and the trucks can come in and go. And you often have your heart stops when you see such excavations. But
Yes.
they never bother. Even the people around are under a lot of pressure.
You are very right, and there are collapses which has taken place in many important structure where after excavation the sites have collapsed, the neighboring either compound wall or part of this building is damaged. These are common sites which happens if it is not taken care properly.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Right.
Any other questions or feedbacks?
Good evening, sir.
Hello.
Myself Benita, and I am pursuing my master's in geotechnical engineering. Actually, the session was really informative and also very much interesting too. We were able to know a lot of new information regarding projects, and also it's a great pleasure to learn about more projects and also various technique used in each project. Thank you, sir. Thank you for this wonderful
Welcome.
session.
Welcome.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Firstly, thank you, sir, for giving such a wonderful and informative section. I hope all those who have heard your talk might have got many new information about the underground excavation and anchoring. Once again, thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge about the same with us all. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hello, Professor.
Yes, please.
My name is Ahmed from China, first year PhD student. Thank you so much for your splendid presentation. I highly admire that. But except I will want for you to further elaborate on the issue of the straw knitting. I want to know what are some of the advantages and disadvantages into straw knitting.
Advantage of soil nailing is to improve the stability of the slope, which you will be able to go for a steeper slope if you do soil nailing, and then you will have less problem related to the slope throughout the period of basement construction, which may go for 1 year or 1.5 years, depending on 1 or 2 basement construction.
Disadvantages?
Yeah. Hello.
What are some of the disadvantages?
Benefits. You are asking what are the benefits?
No, you just talk about the benefits. I'm talking about some of the
He is asking for disadvantages.
Disadvantage is just the cost that you will be incurring cost and time for inserting the drains and inserting the nails and the graniting it.
much.
Yeah, there is no disadvantage. It's a cost and time.
Okay, so are there any other doubts or queries? I think we are up with the doubts and queries, and thank you for the wonderful feedback of this session. So now, to officially propose the vote of thanks, let me call upon the co-chair of the session, Gopika Gopan.
Thank you, Nihara. Good evening, all. I am very much privileged to propose the vote of thanks.
1 minute, Gopika. Sir, Gandhi, sir, can we have that sharing stopped so that we have to put the screen, sir? Is it possible, sir?
Oh, it's on, is it? My sharing? 1 second.
Yes, sir. You can stop sharing so that on the bottom there is a there is a button, sir.
Just gone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Good evening, all. I am very much privileged to propose the vote of thanks on this day. On behalf of entire student chapter, I take this opportunity to thank the speaker of the day, Dr. SR Gandhi, for delivering the session on the topic underground excavation and anchoring. Once again, thank you, sir, for such a wonderful session. I would like to express my sincere thanks to Professor Samadhya for the support throughout the session. Thank you so much, sir. I express my gratitude to all the dignitaries present and the students for their active participation. Last but not the least, I take this opportunity to thank our management, our HOD Narayan sir, and all organizing members for their effort in making this event successful. Once again, thank you all and have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gopika. As a token of our love and gratitude, on behalf of the IG student chapter of Marine Engineering College, we would like to give a token of appreciation to the speaker of the day, Dr. SR Gandhi, sir. So could we have the token of appreciation on the screen? I hope it is visible.
Yes.
So this is presented to Dr. SR Gandhi with deep appreciation for your visionary guidance and in grateful recognition for your enduring commitment for conducting the TSR lecture. We thank you for spending your valuable time with us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So once again, I'm thanking you, Dr. S.R. Gandhi, sir, as well as Professor N.K. Samadhya, sir, and to all the participants for your active participation throughout this session. I hope that all the participants might have filled in the feedback forms. If not, please do it shortly. So with that, we are coming to the end of the TSR lecture. We shall now move on to the valedictory function and the closing ceremony of the symposium series very soon.
Thank you, Gandhi sir, and thank you, Samadhi sir. Thank you so much for joining with us and real support to us. Really, we are happy that we can make it happen in a day of World Soil Day. And we are just thanking as a part of from the organizing team to really honored by your presence in our program, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Samadhya, for joining. Look forward to see you as soon as possible.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Could we have in the presentation for the valedictory function on the screen? So we shall begin the valedictory function. Before that, let us embark the event with a silent prayer. To deliver the welcome speech, let me call upon Aishwarya A. from S1 MTech.
Good evening, everyone. The valedictory function of the Symposium on Highway Infrastructure and TSR Lecture, organized by IGS Student Chapter of Marian Engineering College, in collaboration with IGS Student Chapter supported by TC202 ISS NDE. I am Aishwarya, MTech student from Marian Engineering College, assigned with the duty to extend a warm welcome to one and all present in this valedictory function. First, I welcome speaker of today's session, Dr. TSR Gandhi, director at SVNIT Surat and former professor IIT Madras. Welcome you, sir. I also find immense pleasure in welcoming the chair of TSR Lecture, IIT's president, Professor N. Kamadia, Department of Civil Engineering, IIT Roorkee. A warm word of welcome to Dr. N. Unnikrishnan, Vice Chairman of IGS Student Chapter. I also welcome Dr. Jayamohan G, Vice President, IGS Trivandrum, Principal of LBS College, Trivandrum. I also extend my pleasure to welcome Reverend Father Wilfred E. Manager, Professor Tommy Michael, Director Academics, Professor Samson, Director, Dr. Ruby Abraham, Principal, and also privileged to welcome Dr. Narayanan S. HOD, Civil Department of Marine Engineering College, Professor Rani and Professor Kannan K, and all faculties and students to the valedictory function of the Symposium on Highway Infrastructure and TSR Lecture. It's my great pleasure to welcome all of you to this wonderful event. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Aishwarya. I consider it a great exquisite delight to invite Dr. N. Unnikrishnan, Professor of Government Engineering College, Thrissur, and Vice Chairman of IGS Trivandrum Chapter, to deliver the valedictory address.
Thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're very clear.
Yes, thank you. So, dear Professor SR Gandhi, Director, SVNIT Surat, Professor Samadhya, the President-elect IGS, the Professor Narayan, HOD, Civil Engineering, Dr. Jayamohan, Principal, LBS ITW, and also Vice Chairman, IGS, and a friend of mine, of course. At the outset, I take this opportunity to thank organizers for giving me this chance to address this August gathering and speak a few words. In fact, it is really heartening to see the proceedings of this symposium leading to the Professor T.S. Ramanathan lecture. And the previous days, the deliberations which went on in the previous days, I would like to say they are the fitting precursor to the TSR lecture, because as happens in Kerala, the festivals, the grand finale happens after a series of performances, and in most of the festivals, the grand finale will be the biggest happening of the series, and it really happens so. And when it comes to Professor T.S. Ramanathan, sir, words cannot describe his personality. IGS Trivandrum chapter and the geotechnical fraternity of Kerala considers him as the geotechnical god himself. I always call him geotechnical god. I wish to say that Professor T.S. Ramanathan, he was the sun among the stars. He could eclipse all stars of geotechnical engineering because he could shine above everything. Now the question is whether we have utilized his blessing presence when he was alive, or whether we have not used it. It's a debatable question. He was always willing to share his knowledge. Any student or any faculty member could approach him anytime, and he will supplement the student with all information that is necessary. It is not the information that he knows, because he knows everything. So you go with empty mind, empty brain. It is filled when you come back. And it is not exaggerating to say that it was he who guided all postgraduate students of CET at some point of time. As I have told you, this is because he could eclipse any other geotechnical engineer in the world. There is something which is very astonishing about him. At his old age, he was not receiving any journals, or he was not attending any conferences. He was not exposed to any information sources. However, his knowledge was always current, up to date. He always surprised us in the discussions with the state of art thinking. Ask him about any latest development in geotechnical engineering. He had an answer. I will say that it was not knowledge, but it was jnana. I always had a feeling that he was receiving continuous knowledge through his spiritual capabilities. In fact, Guru Gita says, for the enlightened souls, jnana ulpadyate swayam, knowledge comes from within. Probably that is already stored in the subconscious mind or unconscious mind. And the spiritually enlightened people can connect to that resource or reservoir, and they keep getting knowledge from that. Some kind of intuition, some kind of intuitionary power. And we call him God thus. I still keep papers scribbled by him as rich treasure with me. Many of us do that. And at this juncture, I would like to say that College of Engineering Toronto is building an 80,000 square feet geotechnical facility in the campus. This is currently called as Regional Geotechnical Research and Testing Facility. I use this occasion to exhort authorities to christen the facility as TSR Geotechnical Center. He really deserves that. I wish IGS Thiruvananthapuram chapter actively pursues this. I also wish he was alive to see this building happening. It is not just building, it is housing number of laboratories, number of facilities, library, seminar halls, sample storage facilities, equipment storage facilities, everything. To talk about the TSR lecture, the first ever TSR lecture coincided with the inauguration of the Thiruvananthapuram chapter in 2015. Professor A.S. Sridharan delivered the talk. And thereafter, several stalwarts of geotechnical fraternity, they came to Trivandrum to deliver the TSR lecture. We originally planned it as a biennial event. However, with time, the chapter grew in size with several student chapters like the active Marian College chapter. Hence, more and more enthusiastic institutes came forward to conduct the TSR lecture, which is the prestigious program of IGS Thiruvananthapuram chapter. And thus, we had to convert this event to an annual one. Now it's an annual lecture. And I sincerely wish every year some chapter or other, some student chapter that takes up the matter and conducts this TSR lecture with more and more fanfare, with more and more enthusiasm, with more and more participation, with more and more speakers from all around the world. And we are very fortunate to have Professor S.R. Gandhi as a speaker today. He is in every way the right person today to deliver TSR lecture, especially due to his long association with him at IIT Madras. When I joined IIT Madras in 1992, Professor T.S. Ramanathan was working as a faculty member there. I would like to say that he was the most knowledgeable person I have ever met. I myself have been fortunate to be at IIT when both Professor Ramanathan sir and Professor S.R. Gandhi were actively working. I continue to seek the help of Professor Gandhi for many issues associated with field problems, even today. Professor Gandhi was involved as a geotechnical consultant for many infrastructure projects in the state of Kerala, and that way also is connected to the state of Kerala. This TSR lecture follows Symposium on Highway Infrastructure and TSR lecture, and it is supported by the Indian Geotechnical Society Thiruvananthapuram chapter. Marine Engineering College has taken the lead in conducting this. It is supported by TC 202 Transportation Geotechnics ISSMG. We had a galaxy of speakers for the symposium, including Dr. Errol Tutumlier, who is the chairman of TC 202 ISSMG, Mr. Ravi Sundaram, who also happens to be a friend of the Thiruvananthapuram chapter, Engineer Sunil Vasudevan, former CEO, D2 Consult, Austria, which was a PMC for Atal Tunnel, which is a prestigious project of this country, highly important as far as the strategic significance is concerned. In fact, he talked about the uniqueness and construction challenges of the Atal Tunnel. Many more tunnels are following. Then we heard Dr. Amol Humne, Principal Engineer, Geotechnics, Arcadis, India, on the topic road tunnels, general overview. It may be noted that we are actively pursuing the Act East policy. Originally, it was Look East policy. We neglected the development of Northeast. And sometime in late 90s, towards 1999 or so, we understood that we are making a mistake by neglecting the Northeast. So we decided to develop the infrastructure in the Northeast. And the policy was called Look East policy. And after a decade or so, that was changed to Act East policy, where we are constructing a lot of road and rail infrastructure in the Northeast, connecting to other countries like Burma or Malaysia or other countries on that side, Thailand, all those countries on that side. Road connectivity is being made. So a lot of geotechnical challenges are happening. In fact, in the Indian Geotechnical Conference that was held in IIT Guwahati, we had a lot of active inputs from the Border Roads Organization and Indian Railways. Further to this, a number of tunnels are being constructed to counter the developments, the threatening developments being posed by our northern neighbor, who is currently, with whom we are facing a standoff in the Kailas ranges. So we are constructing a number of tunnels, and these do pose a lot of challenges in the earthquake-prone Himalayas. The other day, we were listening about underground construction in Singapore, when the speaker said that earthquakes have not happened in Singapore, whereas in the Himalayan ranges, earthquake is a usual phenomenon. So we are working in hostile environment posed by the challenges of climate and also the geotechnical and geological challenges. So what I wanted to impress upon you is that the topic of this series of this symposium is all the way relevant today, and it is going to be more relevant tomorrow. And the deliberations are augmented by Dr. Shreyas Kanchane. He was talking about the engineering design of high-speed rails. In fact, I would like to recall that we had recently conducted the international conference a year back on geotechnics of high-speed rail corridors. In fact, these high-speed rail corridors are becoming the need of nation. They are going to be the backbone of development, economic development. They are going to be the backbone of decentralization of development. The migration of people from villages to cities should stop as and when the high-speed connectivity is established, when people will be able to travel from the native to the city and then go back. So that way it is also these highways and corridors are also contributing to the I would like to say, to the economic development of the country. And to further drive the message, there was a lecture on construction of new Bugis station of downtown line of Singapore. A lot of challenges were being experienced, and we were exposed to the underground infrastructure of the Singapore as a country. And I was thinking that this is what is called as patala in our scriptures, a level of certain life below the ground surface, a lot of life below the ground surface. You have highways, you have railways, you have sewer lines, you have services, so many things extending to tens of meters below the ground surface, definitely opportunities are existing for, challenging opportunities are existing for the geotechnical engineers. And our students may be blessed to interact and get involved in several of these projects which are happening in this country and outside the country. And I would like to say thus that the topic of symposium was higher relevant and the right precursor to the TSR lecture. And I take this opportunity to congratulate Professor Rani and your team of faculty members and energetic students for identifying the right topic and the right speakers. The program is hugely successful. Participants are particularly blessed to be exposed to a rich treasure of knowledge. I wish more and more student chapters come forward with similar endeavors. With these words, I would like to conclude this valedictory address. I take this opportunity to once again thank the organizers for giving me a chance for delivering this valedictory address. Thank you all. My best wishes. Thank you.
So much, sir, for your impulsive words. To present the enlightening report of the events conducted, let me call upon the Secretary of IG Student Chapter of Marine Engineering College, Hemna Cruz.
Thank you, Nihara. Is it audible?
Yes, you're very clear.
Okay, thank you. Very warm good evening to all the dignitaries, faculties, and students. Myself, Hemna from MTech. As a Secretary of IG Student Chapter of Marine Engineering College, I'm assigned with a duty to read out the report of Symposium on Highway Infrastructure and TSR Lecture held from December 1 to 5, 2020. On day 1, that is on 1/12/2020, inauguration of the event, Symposium on Highway Infrastructure and TSR Lecture started at 6 p.m. Dr. Narayan S., HOD of Civil Department, Marine Engineering College, welcomed the gathering, which was followed by the presidential address by Dr. Ruby Abraham, Principal, Marine Engineering College. Dr. Errol Tuttumuller, Chairman, TC202 ISS MGE, delivered the opening address for the event. Dr. Errol's address was followed by the felicitations by eminent speakers, Dr. J.T. Sahu, Honorable Secretary of IGS and Professor IIT Delhi, Dr. Vasant G. Havanagi, Chief Scientist, CSIR CRRI, New Delhi, Dr. K. Balan, Chairman of Indian Geotechnical Society, Trivandrum Chapter, Dr. Jaymohan J., Principal, LBS Institute of Technology for Women, Trivandrum, and Dr. Samson A., Director of Academics, Marine Engineering College. The inaugural section concluded with vote of thanks proposed by Professor Rani V., Associate Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, Marine Engineering College, and mentor of IGS. The inaugural function was followed by a technical talk by Mr. Ravi Sundaram, member TC202 ISS MGW. The session was chaired by Dr. Ajita Bhaskar, Joint Secretary, IGS Trivandrum Chapter and Professor CET, and co-chaired by Mekhavi, Vice President of IGS, Marine Engineering College. Mr. Ravi Sundaram gave an enthralling lecture on the topic Landslides on Himalayan Roads, Geotechnical Investigation and Stabilization Methods. The deliberation included 3 case studies and presented in detail the potential for landslides and its prediction in Himalayas. The session concluded with vote of thanks from session co-chair. Microsoft Teams platforms along with the YouTube live telecast links were also provided. Total response we got from both YouTube and Microsoft Teams was 265. On day 2, that is on 2/12/2020, the day 2 of Symposium showcased talk on the Atal Tunnel uniqueness and challenges, which was delivered by Dr. Sunil Vasudevan. The chair of the session was Dr. K. Balan, President, IGS Trivandrum Chapter, and Vice Principal, Rajdhani Institute of Technology, Trivandrum, and co-chaired by Tinu Krishna S., Vice President, IGS MEC. Dr. Sunil Vasudevan is a techno-legal expert, former CEO, D2 Consult, Austria, and PMC for Atal Tunnel. His lecture was on hands-on experience that he had as CPO of the Atal Tunnel, and also he included inside photographs and videos he had taken personally. The lecture captivated the audience and explained in detail about the NATO method and its application in Atal Tunnel. The feedback from the audience clearly conveyed how enthralling the deliberations were. The audience felt themselves lucky to hear from such a distinguished guest. The session concluded with a vote of thanks from session co-chair. The total YouTube viewers were 254 and 131 participated in Microsoft Teams. Day 3, that is on 3/12/2020, Day 3 of the symposium presented 2 technical sessions. The speaker of the first session was Engineer Amol Humne, Principal Engineer Geotechnics, Arcadis, India. The session chair led by Dr. R.V. Sujil Johnson, Secretary IGS Trivandrum Chapter, and Professor CET. And session was co-chaired by Nihara R. Nair, Executive Member, IGS MEC. Engineer Amol spoke on the topic Road Tunnels General Overview. Then he explained about associated structures, fire, and tunnel ventilation. He also presented the uniqueness of construction of such tunnels and orders faced during its construction. The session was very valuable and informative. There was feedback session at the end from the audience. A token of appreciation was given virtually to the speaker, Engineer Amol Humne. Then was followed by the second session. The speaker of the second session was Dr. Shreyas Kachane, Technical Director, Arcadis, India. The session chair was led by Dr. Bindu J, Division Head of Geotechnical Engineering, CET, and the session was co-chaired by Akhila Jayaprakash, Executive Member of IGS MEC. He spoke on the topic Engineering Design for High-Speed Rails and also mentioned about high-speed rail projects, advantages of high-speed rails, details about the bullet train from Mumbai to Ahmedabad, and design criteria for high-speed rails. His talk and presentation was very enlightening, and he covered all the main concepts regarding the topic. After the talk, the session was open for feedback and queries. A token of appreciation was given virtually to Dr. Shreyas Kachane. The session concluded with vote of thanks from session co-chair. On day 4, that is on 4/12/2020, Day 4 of the symposium presented 2 technical sessions. The speaker of the first session was Engineer Chandrasekharan Sundarraju, Regional Design Manager, PE Geo, Singapore and Malaysia, PE Civil, Singapore, ACPE MIEM. The session chair led by Dr. Anil Joseph, Secretary, IGS Cochin Chapter, and session co-chair was Stephanie Mary Simon, Executive Member of IGS Marine Engineering College. Dr. Chandrasekharan Sir spoke on the topic Construction of New Buji Station for Downtown Line, Contract 903. He took a very detailed and informative session. He also talked about the different excavation methods. He described about the contract DTLI C903, Buji Station and Tunnel. He also included many photographs in his presentations, clearly depicting various stages of C903 construction. The talk was followed by an extensive feedback session. A token of appreciation was given virtually to Dr. Chandrasekharan Sir. The session concluded with vote of thanks from session co-chair. Then was followed by the second session. The speaker of the second session was Engineer Praveen Mulay, Tunnel Engineer, Arcadis, Singapore. The session chair was led by Dr. Jimmy Thomas, Consulting Engineer and Executive National Committee of IGS Member. And the session co-chaired by Atulya GS, Executive Member of IGS Marine Engineering College. Engineer Praveen talked on the topic Underground Infrastructure in Singapore. He explained about Deep Tunnel Sewage System, Sandford Diversion Canal, and the Detention Tank, and also about the Jurong Rock Caverns. The deliberations was really engrossing. The talk was followed by an extensive feedback session. The session got ended with a vote of thanks from the session co-chair. About 7, Kezia Justin De Cruz of S3, Abanna A. S3, Ken Prince of S7, Lakshmi of S7, and Marina of S7. The cultural program was ended up by a general feedback session. On day 5, that is on 5/12/2020, on day 5 we have conducted the TSR lecture in fond memory of Dr. T.S. Ramanatha Iyer. The lecture was given by Dr. S.R. Gandhi, Director, SVNIT Surat, and former Professor, IIT Madras. The session chair was Professor N.K. Samadhya, Professor of Department of Civil Engineering, IIT Roorkee, and IGS President, Roorkee. The session co-chair was Gopika Govind, Executive Member, IGS Marine Engineering College. Dr. Gandhi gave a brief lecture on the topic underground excavation and anchoring. He also focused with the case studies, difficulties and challenges in deep excavation, and also the typical basement construction in Chennai city. The session was very much informative, and the talk was followed by the feedback session. And the session ended up by the vote of thanks from the session co-chair. And finally, the valedictory function commenced. So thank you everyone for the support and cooperation throughout this entire program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hemna. So we are now about to present in a video of the highlights of the symposium series that we have conducted. Could we play in the video, please? So now we would love to hear in your opinions and feedbacks regarding the entire session that was held from December 1 to 5. So all faculty, the guests, students, all are welcome. We would love to hear in some opinions. I could see that Dr. Bushra ma'am has joined in with us. Ma'am, could you express some opinions regarding our session, ma'am? Dr. Bushra ma'am, are you there? I think Bushra ma'am has lost her connectivity. Now I would like to hear in feedback from others, please. Could I hear some feedback from respected head of the department, Dr. Narayan sir? Narayan sir, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I think I was also very fortunate to attend all the sessions, and they were of very high quality. We had a lot of speakers from outside, which we can never hope to get during a offline session. People talking from US, Singapore, so many dignitaries. were able to share their experiences with us, gained a lot, especially postgraduate students of geotechnical engineering, as well as professors, lecturers from other universities and industry people. They would have gained much from these talks. These remain with us for a lifetime, all these experiences. And I think IGS Students Chapter of Marine Engineering College, ably guided by the mentors, have done a wonderful job. Even the cultural session leaves an impression on us and lives with us for a long time. I think a wonderful job has been done, and I congratulate all the team for having done it so well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. I could also see that the AP Singh sir is here. Sir, could we hear in some feedback?
Yeah, I'm here. And we are privileged. We are very much privileged to attend this 5 days program. It was a very nicely organized, and the content of the duration, entire symposium was very high, and it has a good blending of site experience as well as theoretical. Theories can be taught in the classes, but sharing the practical knowledge, that is really rare, and it was thoroughly discussed during these 5 days. Really, congratulations to the organizers, and it was a very nice experience attending this knowledge imparting, and it gives a lot of knowledge to the students and the practicing engineers also. So once again, congratulations to the organizers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for the motivational words. Is there Sanjay Gupta, sir, in this session? Sanjay Gupta, sir? I think sir had initially joined in the session. Maybe due to some network error, he might have gone out. Now, let me welcome our valedictorian of the day, Dr. Unikrishnan, sir. Sir, could you express your feedbacks or opinions regarding the session, sir?
Yeah, I have already mentioned during my speech. In fact, the organizers, they do deserve a lot of applause for organizing this wonderful program. In fact, as some of the former speakers mentioned, the content was most relevant and most practical, and most of the discussions were right from the field. And as we are going through an era of infrastructure development, this topic of symposium is gaining very high relevance. And I'm sure that those who have attended this program, they might have been highly motivated by the speakers. And the students, especially the undergraduate students, I expect that a number of undergraduate students are going to pursue their career in geotechnical engineering. And that will be the highlight of this program. Very interesting program, very interesting lectures, a lot of enthusiasm I'm seeing, and all have been benefited extensively by attending this program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm also expecting that more students would be aspiring in the field of geotechnical engineering as well. I think Dr. Ajita Bhaskar ma'am is in the session. Ma'am, could we have some opinion? Is Ajita Bhaskar ma'am in the session?
Hello.
Hi, ma'am.
Okay, want to say congrats to all the Marian team for their fruitful effort taken for the this particular seminar. All the sessions were good, and all enthusiasm were seen from the students, and all of the students will MTech, both PG and UG will benefited from the all sessions. Thank you. Congrats to all the organizing team of Marian Engineering College. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And we're also happy to notice that we are having participants from our own nation, India, as well as international participants. And could we have Mr. Emmett to tell in some feedback or opinions regarding our session? He was very active throughout all the 5 sessions.
Thank you so much. Thank you to the organizing committee of this unique symposium. For and on behalf of my family, Imani, and my university from China here, I highly want to appreciate all of the professors that presented. Their lectures were completed, kind of practical to our learning process, and I look forward in attending such a symposium or conference, either by virtual or in person when the pandemic is over. So congratulations to the organizing committee again. Thank you, and I look forward for another conference in the near future.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Emmett, sir. Can I have a video on the screen, please, so that we can all see?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you put the video?
I'm turning it on. Oh.
It's not came up.
Why it's not turning on? Bear with me. I don't know why it's not working.
Okay, but it's not seen the videos. No, it's not coming up.
Is this coming on?
No, sir. Actually, it's not came up. But we tried to see you because all of us want to see you. He was an active participant of a program. That's why from China.
Yes.
Then it's okay, sir. It's okay. In between, if it works, you can put.
Let me try.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Some.
Is this okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, I think there's an echo, so could you please mute her? Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. Hearing all this feedback, it is actually increasing our motivational levels to do more, to achieve more, and to pursue more. So thank you all for the wonderful feedbacks and opinions. Now, to propose the vote of thanks, let me cordially invite the mentor of our chapter, Professor Rani V., Associate Professor of Department of Civil Engineering of Marine Engineering College.
Respected Chief Guest of the day, Dr. SR Gandhi sir, Professor Samadhya sir, Dr. Krishnan sir, Dr. Jaymohan sir, and our respected Head of the Department, Dr. Narayan sir, Principal Dr. Ruby Abraham, our dear participants from inside and outside of India, from abroad, and all the participants from all colleges, researchers, industrialists, all, and dear student members from our college and outside the colleges. Actually, today, the 5 golden days in the history of the student chapter of Indian Geotechnical Society of Marine Engineering College. And on the eve of December 5th, the World Soil Day and a blessed TSR lecture, it's my duty as a coordinator to express my vote of thanks on behalf of IGS MEC to fulfill a dream which started 1 month back, and today it's come to an end, nearing end, or almost to the end part of the Symposium. And on the outset, first of all, from the start, I have a big list. It was thanking everyone. And first of all, I should thank the Almighty or the hidden gift of God, which is seen in every moment of organizing this program. Because without that, we will not be able to finish it in this particular time, within a one month time. So I thank God first of all. Second, onto my list actually, the executive committee members of IGS Random chapter that comes in the second way, and they have given a sanction to conduct the TSR lecture and a symposium. On the outset, I should thank Dr. K. Balan sir, who is the chairman, Dr. Jayamohan sir, who is the vice chairman, Dr. Unnikrishan sir, who is the vice chairman, Dr. P.K. Jayasri teacher, who is the treasurer, and Dr. Jayavi, who is the joint secretary, and all the executive members of IGS who have given the sanction to conduct this program on behalf of the organizing committee. I thank you all of them. And now it comes to the position of sanctioning from the college. I should thank the manager, Reverend Father Wilfred, Principal Dr. Ruby Abraham, the directors, Dr. Samson A. and Professor Tommy Michael, and the bursar Sudhish Das, and our dearest head of the department, Dr. Narayan sir, who stood with hand to hand in every moment for this sanctioning of the program from the college level. I thank all of them from the bottom of the heart. Now, first of all, we fixed the program of TSR lecture, and the suggestion was given by my coordinator of the program, Kanan, who wanted to be conducted on December 5th, World Soil Day. So I thought, anyway, it's a World Soil Day, and I will fix the TSR lecture on that day. On the outset, Dr. Aparna Pillai, the assistant professor of a college, who is a student of Gandhi sir, and I took the suggestion and number and everything from her, and I called Gandhi sir, and immediately on the first talk itself, he has agreed to come out the program and support us. So that way, the TSR lecture is fixed on December 5th, World Soil Day. And from arranging that part, I thought of arranging a symposium related to that, and that focused onto the inspiration of Dr. K. Balan sir and Dr. Jayamohan sir, who actually initiated me to have a support from TC202. So that focused me on to Dr. Ravi Sundaram sir, and who stood with us and from that moment when I started with conversation with him till now, he is supporting us, and he has focused us to have so many contributions towards Dr. Errol Tutumiller and Dr. Tatsuya Ishikawa of the TC20 committee. So I thank Ravi Sundaram sir, Dr. Errol Tutumiller sir, and Dr. Ishikawa sir, and that again gone to TC20 members of Shahu sir of IIT Delhi and Dr. Vasant Havanagi sir of TC202 member. So I thank all of them on the outset. And now I move on to the speakers, basically. From the starting itself, I had a dream of conducting the adult tunnel challenges. So I was chasing for a person who knows about it, who works about it. So that focused the Institute of Engineers, in which the engineer Dr. Ashok sir has focused me to Dr. Sunil Vasudevan sir. So thank Ashok sir and Sunil Vasudevan sir for agreeing for the first time for fixing the first element of symposium on December 2nd. Then I discussed with Ravi Sundaram sir about this, and he conveyed that he will start with the Himalayas. Then that topic was fixed, and thank Dr. Sunil Vasudevan sir and Ravi Sundaram sir for fixing that. Then again, it leads to my mind for keeping a session, going a session onto the tunnel or the infrastructure development that lead to the Arcadis team of Mumbai and Singapore. And actually that was helped by my friend, engineer Srikanth, who is the CEO of Arcadis Singapore. He focused me on to Dr. Shreyas Kachani of Mumbai, who is the technical director, and to Amol Humne, who is the principal engineer of Arcadis, and to Praveen Mulai of tunnel engineer in Arcadis Singapore. So that way, we thank the Arcadis team for our support for the whole program. I thank all of them. And again, it led to the engineer Chandrasekharan Somaraju, who was the former president of IGS, who took initiative to present yesterday about the bug station. And he took time to spend with us. And that way, all gets connected. And today, it happened and almost going to be an end to the program. And now it's my duty to express my special thanks to my participants. We have so many participants from outside India. I don't know how I should thank them, because we have participants from Singapore, we have from China, we have from Portugal, we have from Istanbul, we have from Corobola, from Colombia, and we have participants from Delhi, then Faridabad, then all over the IGS members have joined, especially AP Singh sir, Dr. Sanjay sir, and Amit sir. And again, we have participants from the college, different engineering colleges of inside Kerala and outside Kerala and India too. And again, if I missed any name in that behalf, and special thanks to Amit from China, because he was the active participant from international. He attended every day, every moment of our program, and he has actually supported us. And special thanks to all IGS members, the special attendees, Ajita Basket teacher, Dr. Manchu GS, and from KUSAT we have Veena and Dr. Manik Chand sir, and so many industrialists. And again, I've listed us Kausik sir, who is joined in the first almost in the starting itself. And it goes on and goes on the list. It never ends. So I thank all the participants for your active participation and making this the grand success. And now coming to the main part, actually, can I have a share on the student members, please, on the screen? Can I have a share on the student members? 1 minute. This is Binu John hosting along with me from my home itself. We are conducting from my home for the last 5 days. He is supporting us with every moment possible. And now I call upon the president of IGS Student Chapter, Dr. Manish Rajan. Can I have Manish here on the video? Manish, are you there? Yes, this is Manish Rajan, who is the president of IGS Student Chapter of Marine Engineering College. Now, can I have Hemna, the secretary of IGS Student Chapter of Marine Engineering College? Hemna? Yes, this is Hemna, who have fully participated in different roles, in active roles throughout of the program. I will discuss each one by one. And Naira, who is the treasurer. Can I have Naira, please? Naira, are you there? Yes, Naira. Thank you. Thank you so much, Naira. She has done the work all behind the PPT, all managing the accounts, and everywhere she's there behind me. And again, I should call the next Nihara Arnair, who is the comparer of today. Can I have a video of Nihara? Nihara, yeah, she's the comparer behind the role, and she's took part in every possible way in this all the symposium. And she has sung a song on Marathi, which will be focused into the world. So that's our, actually, she's the executive member of IGS. And we have our vice president role, Mekha V. Mekha. Can I have Mekha? This is Mekha, who is the vice president of IGS Student Chapter, who is also the co-chair in a session. And Tinu Krishna is also the vice president. Tinu, are you there, Tinu? Tinu Krishna is there? Is not able to join, okay, due to some technical issues. And now we have Nishara and Gopika. Nishara is having the live streaming of YouTube, so she can join. Sorry for that. And what about Gopika Gopan? Gopika on the screen, please. Yes, this is Gopika Gopan, who is doing that certificate as well as that live streaming team. But Nishara is still in that YouTube live stream, so she can join. and she is maintaining the certificate in proper time to on all over the program. And we have a big list actually. Now we have the different list. Puja, different persons. Can I have a share the screen with executive members? Can I share the screen with all the photos? 1 minute, 1 minute, sir. I will share the screen. This is my coordinator of the program who stood with me throughout the program, that is Kanan and me. He was the mentors of IG student chapter. And to the executive members, these are the executive main members. Manesh is the president, Hamna is the secretary, and Naira is the treasurer. And going to the next list, we have vice president as Mekha and Tinu Krishna. And going to the executive members, it's Binu John, Steffi Simon, Atulya, Akila from Binu is from the second year MTech and others from the first year MTech. And again it goes on to Nihara Nair of S7, then Nishara of S7, then Anand Kumar of S7, Gopika of S7, and Akilnath of S7. And it again goes to S5 with the team of Pooja Ajin of S5, Akshina Prince of S5, Kamil of S5, then Janagi of S5. And again moving on to S3 with we have Nikita, Vaishnav, Fatima and Priyanka of S3. So it's a team. No words can thank them because in the starting of the program, this program happened only because of their effort and their word that they have given me that, ma'am, you go ahead, we will be with you in every moment of the program. So in that way, actually, it's a day for them and their efforts. It's not for us. It's the effort of the students that came up. And I thank each and every one of you for the whole success of the program on behalf as a coordinator on the team. And thanking everyone and hope the God has helped up till now, this moment, for making it happen. And thank you one and all. Thank you once again for your kind participation and patient listening and support. Thank you one and all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Well, good things come to an end for better things yet to happen. On behalf of the entire IG student chapter of Marine Engineering College, we thank each and every one of you for your presence to sparkle this event. I must mention my deep sense of appreciation to our management, head of the department, Narayan sir, mentors of our chapter, Professor Rani V and Professor Kannan K, and the entire organizing team of our chapter for their relentless effort in making this event a grand success. And we hope that we were able to meet your expectations and hoping to scale greater heights in our future ventures ahead. So with that, we are winding up this session. This is Nihara Arnay signing off. May you all have a wonderful evening ahead. Thank you so much.